Hi there everyone, welcome back to the Royal Society Archives. I'm here with Laura, who's the Modern Records archivist, and that means we're going to have some modern records. Reasonably modern by objectivity standards, if you call this modern. So what we're looking at today is a bunch of film reels. Not just this film reel, there's a whole bunch of them. Have a look at that, James. All these tins of film reels. We've got boxes with film reels in them. This is all science history here, and this has been something that's been consuming a lot of your time lately, Laura. It's become a bit of a hobby horse of yours. Talk us through it.
Yeah, so these films have been sitting here since, I guess, the 1950s, when the Royal Society had a film library. We produced some of our own films and also borrowed films from other organisations, and a lot of those films have ended up here in the archive.
Does some boss at the top floor of the Royal Society say, Laura, we want you to concentrate on the films, or is this something you just decide to do for some reason, or how does that even come about?
I just decided by myself, because
Okay.
I thought they looked cool.
So if you haven't got the facilities here to watch these, what was the next step? What did you do?
So we had to take the films in boxes and taxis all the way across London to the BFI, and they let us use their viewing facilities. At first it was just a matter of trying to figure out what was on each film, really. I'd taken some films over which were labelled and they looked like they'd be really interesting, and actually what it was a tractor documentary or some weird Swedish comedy. So it wasn't always science related. I had a call of all the rubbish. I mean,
Tractor documentary sounds alright.
not so much. So
I'm totally up for a tractor documentary. But anyway,
got rid of all that stuff, and then what's left is here.
So we're looking mainly at expedition films.
Yeah. So we've got the big productions for I think there were 4 of those, kind of full finished productions with the soundtrack and everything.
Constant meteorological observations were kept en route, including the seawater temperature, the wind speed, and the air temperature.
And then we've got, for most of the expeditions, we've also got kind of rough cuttage, which is the stuff that didn't make the final cut, but to me it's just as interesting, maybe more interesting. It was a crucial part of the expedition. So right from the start, the Royal Society would give the scientists cameras, films. You know, some of these are tropical islands. How do you film when you're dealing with damp and humidity and heat? So there's a lot of paperwork in the archive about the logistics of this stuff.
They weren't sending like professional film crews, though. The scientists were sort of doing it themselves.
Yeah, they were. It was just the scientists that were kind of doing it on the job and then shipping the films back as they finished.
Well, let's have a look at some of, let's start with the one I'm holding.
Yeah.
This is one that did make Laura's cut and has been digitised already. And this was probably an easy choice for you because this is Halley Bay.
This is an offcut from Halley Bay. So they made a Halley Bay film of the advance party, which went out to Antarctica, but they didn't make a finished film of the main party, but some of the offcuts do cover the activities of the main party.
This is like your DVD extras that you Okay, cool. Okay, so there's some special stuff on there. And this is another Halley Bay one, Laura, but this is more your one that would have been shown at official meetings of the Royal Society and they would have been showing off about.
On the 6th of January 1956, we landed in Halley Bay and found a way onto the top of the 100-foot ice cliffs. 3 tractors were used to transport our stores to the base site, and the emperor penguins watched us with curiosity and amazement.
We'll have more on this one very soon on Objectivity, so Keith's going to tell us all about this. Stay tuned. What do we got? This is another one. This is a bit of a favourite of yours. This is another one that made the cut. Laura has decided, yep, I'm going to digitise this one. What's this?
So this is the volcanic eruption on Tristan da Cunha, which just sounds cool, doesn't it? So this is in 1961. There was a big eruption on an island in the middle of the Atlantic, and this is the film from the expedition.
A careful watch was kept, but it was soon obvious that the volcanic activity was entirely confined to the settlement area. The temperature of the material was measured with an optical pyrometer, an instrument used extensively for measuring temperatures in blast furnaces, and also with a thermocouple and potentiometer.
And again, stay tuned, because very soon we're going to have a full video about this one, and Laura's also going to show us a bunch of amazing documents. It's a really cool video, so there you go. All right, here we go. Coelacanth film. What's this?
It's Keith's favourite.
So this is about kind of a prehistoric fish, a quest across oceans to find a prehistoric fish. If this doesn't excite you, seriously, what are you even doing here? This is amazing. This one's heavy. There's lots of footage. What's this one, Laura?
So this is from the Royal Society's expedition to Chile, or Chiloé Island. So the final film was called South from Chiloé. And that was to celebrate the tercentenary of Charles Darwin publishing Origin of Species.
The Chilean Air Force helped us to reach our first objective, Chepu village, to which there is no road.
So there were 5 biologists. They were trying to figure out the similarities between New Zealand and southern Chile in terms of flora and fauna. Apparently there are some.
Okay, we've got some Solomon Islands expedition reels here.
Yeah.
What's all this?
So this was an expedition that the Royal Society undertook at the Solomon Islands. So this time they had a marine party as well as a party on land. It was really thick jungle, heavy going. It was an unexplored place at that stage, well, scientifically unexplored. So they were just trying to see what was going on. There was a lot of attention on the area at the time for the timber purposes, so they wanted to get in there before things changed too much. The other thing that's really nice about these expedition films is that you get a lot of the kind of cultural history. You get to see kind of local people, which aren't really reflected that much in the paper record, but that you get to see on the film. So that's really a valuable thing.
And another one from the Laura collection, the
Yeah.
ones that you deemed worthy of digitisation in the
Yeah.
first round at least.
Yeah.
What do we got here?
This is lovely. This is a mute film, but it follows the Alacalufe tribe, who are based all the way down in southern Chile. So this was a kind of offshoot of the other expedition to southern Chile. But I think the footage was so valuable that they decided to go ahead and make a special documentary just about that tribe. Part of the reason why I decided to push ahead with this project is because film is very vulnerable to degradation. So you can't have to be really proactive about getting this stuff digitised while it's in good condition. So now it's digitised, the master copies can go off-site to Deep Store.
Okay, so as you've heard from Laura, these are off to go to an underground refrigerator most likely. But in the meantime, we're going to show you more of what's on these reels. Sort of over the next few weeks, few months, we're going to really go in depth, show you more of the footage and also show you some documents and objects that have something to do with it. So stay tuned for that one.
What Rankin and other people were interested in was applying this technology to film to get sound on film. So have a look at this image. What we have here is a single still image from a movie, presumably, because you can see the sprocket holes on either side. But you can also see a sound track.